Hi team, how we doing? So today on Smoking Still Garage we've got a 15 Newton meter direct drive wheel straight out of China for $500. That sounds too good to be true. Let's have a look and see what's in the box. So if you haven't heard of Cammus, they've actually been around for a number of years. They started off making some automotive parts, and then they've actually ventured into the EV market, and they've actually made an EV supercar, and now they're working on electric carts. And then around 2 years ago, they stepped into the sim racing market. Now, the direct drive unit isn't the only thing that they produce. They've also started building their own sim rigs, and they're producing steering wheels as well. And in the future, they've got some other bits planned for release. So very exciting, and something to keep an eye on. So I have actually seen this wheel before, and I'm pretty sure it was on Alibaba, and that kind of puts me off of buying pieces of equipment like this, especially when you're dropping quite a few $100s on something that you haven't seen or there are very few reviews around. Now the good thing is that Cammus have their own website now where you can purchase this wheel directly from, and I'll also add that they're very good on the communication. I speak to them on WhatsApp quite regularly, and then they've actually got a Discord channel that's very active with a lot of users around the world who've got their equipment and seem very happy overall with what they've got. So on the front of the base unit, we've got 5 push buttons, 3 on the right side, 2 on the left. The push buttons are fairly good quality. Apparently they do light up as well when you push them, which is quite nice. We've got the on-off power switch up here just above. It feels quite nice. You might run into problems if you've got a glove on. It's quite a small opening for, well, I haven't got a super large finger. Above that we've got a momentary switch up and down. It feels pretty decent, well sprung, but it is a little loose. You can just see there it does wobble around a bit, which is a sign of the quality of switch used. It isn't too bad. On the other side we've got a three-way switch, so up and down, and then middle as well. Not really sure why we've got that, and if we'll be able to implement that in for any uses in iRacing. Then below that we've got the 2 encoders. They feel pretty reasonable. Haven't got a lot of spring and the clicks, but it's not bad. They're not the worst I've felt. Side to side movement is pretty good. A lot better than the ones that came on the Simagic wheel, let's put it like that. They've also got a push button on them as well, so as encoders go, I think they're not too bad at all. And then we've got the 2 buttons below that, so quite handy all in all. Now on the front of the wheel, Cammus didn't send me a steering wheel. They've only sent me the base unit, which is a little annoying, a little sad, but there we go. So we've got what looks like quite a nice quick release on here. It's very similar to the Simagic style with the ball bearing and pull to quick release. I really liked that quick release that Simagic have got, and I'm quite excited by the fact it looks like Cammus have gone to the same supplier. Now we've got the connection there for the wireless, it's a wireless connection for the wheel. I'm probably going to have to take all this off and try and figure out how to fit one of my wheels on. The actual hub is very nice. It's got Cammus engraved on the side, or laser etched onto it, and then under these 2 caps here are the Allen keys to mount the hub on. Now in terms of the motor itself, it's not a stepper motor, which is the main thing to get across, because a lot of these cheap that claim to be direct drive units are actually stepper motors, which is the poorer motor choice to have in sim racing. The reason being is when you turn it, even with the steering wheel on it powered up, you can actually feel the motor juddering, and we get that feeling through the steering as you're turning. Now a direct drive motor should be nice and smooth, which is exactly what this is. So we've got a true direct drive for $500. That is kind of exciting. Other than that, the base looks very nice. It's got a kind of satin black finish. Cammus is etched on there. Feels really good, just ever so slightly raised. Feels really nice, looks really good. I love the finished edge on here, so it's a machine finish edge on these front and rear plates, and they've left it unpainted, and it looks really, really nice, and it's very sharp, ever so well engineered. Really, really doesn't look like a $500 direct drive unit. So on the sides here we have got a T slot for mounting, which is quite handy. It's probably what I'm going to end up using. And underneath we have the mounting holes. I'll put the measurements up for these on the screen now. The problem is they don't seem to fit any pre-made rig. So I've got a SimLabs GT1 and they don't fit any of the pre-drilled holes in that. So I'm going to have a bit of a faff trying to get this on my rig, but we will figure it out. And I've seen a few other reviews and everybody else has complained as well that they're not able to use these holes to fit to their rig directly without modification. Now, Cammus have got a mount that they supply with this to fit rigs. I've seen that they managed to send it to Dan Suzuki, although apparently they sent him two parts at the same side. But I asked for it, and unfortunately they didn't send me that either. So I haven't got a steering wheel, and I didn't get the direct drive mount, which is rather annoying. What I did get was a sim rig carpet, which is laid out here on my table. So obviously they felt I needed this rather than a steering wheel or the actual mount to mount the base to my unit. But like I said, we will figure it out. So getting to the back of the unit, we've got a cooling fan, and it is a proper cooling fan. I can see blades in there, which looks really good. And we've got the power inlet, we've got a USB out to your PC, and then these are the extras, lines in for the shifter and steering wheel handbrake. Now Cammus are making a range of things, and I believe they've got some new stuff coming out as well. So at the moment they only offer one wheel for this unit, but I have seen some pictures online of some other wheels that they are testing and developing, which are GT style wheels. So super keen to see what they bring out. Right, let's get on to the rest. So we've got the power brick, and we have a fairly good long bit of cable on there. It's roughly about 1.5 meters of cable that end. We've got about 1 meter on the other end. Looks pretty good quality, no drama there, and we've got the plug fitting that goes into the back of the direct drive unit. One thing to mention on the power unit, there is no on-off switch at all. So you've got two options of turning this unit off if it all goes crazy. That is directly at the plug, and option 2 is using the on-off switch on the direct drive unit. Now if your wheel's spinning around at 1,000,000 miles an hour, you're gonna probably struggle to get in there without doing any damage to yourself. What I did like with the SimMagic and also with my VRS direct drive is, on the VRS I have a switch on the back of the power brick, and on the SimMagic they actually gave you an on-off switch halfway down the power cable. But Cammus have got in the pipeline a kill switch that's coming out for this unit, so we'll look forward to seeing that. Now also in the bag we've got the hardware and the goodies. We've got a cable USB. It's probably around about, say that's 2 meters long, which is a fairly good length. EMS shielding on there. The cable itself doesn't look great quality. I'd actually say the one in the SimMagic looked a bit better, but if it works, it works. So also we get some hardware. I wouldn't say they've gone totally over the top of the hardware. So they give you an Allen key and 5 bolts and some washers and some locking washers for the holes that don't seem to fit anyone's rig. But, you know, at least they tried. Decent quality hardware nonetheless. But there we go. At least it's in there. And that is all you get. But I tell you what, for $500, I wouldn't knock that at all. I wouldn't knock that at all. So, let's have some final thoughts and then we'll get this bolted up to the rig in the next few days and we'll see how things go. So, we've had a good look over the base now, and from what I can see, it looks pretty good. I'd actually go as far to say that it's shooting way above its $500 price point as it sits. The next test will be to get it on the rig and see how it goes. And it's going to take me a couple of days of fanning around to get it to fit the rig because they didn't send me any brackets and it won't fit anything that I've got here at the moment. But we'll get it done and I will get a comparison film out for you in the next week or so. And that's right, I'm not going to just review it. I'm going to stick this up against the VRS. We're going to take a look at the data and we're going to see exactly where this heavy little monster sits in the direct drive market. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you again in a few days' time. Please remember to click the like and subscribe button down below. Also ring the bell because that really helps me out and helps to grow the channel. Thanks for watching.